If your team spends hours every day doing the same tasks over and over, copying data between systems, chasing approvals, or manually updating spreadsheets, you're losing thousands of dollars every month to work that could run automatically. Today, I'm showing you exactly how small businesses are eliminating repetitive manual work across their operations, freeing up their teams to focus on what actually grows the business. Here's what most small business owners don't realize about manual, repetitive tasks. When someone on your team manually enters data from an email into your CRM, then copies that same information into your billing system, then updates a spreadsheet for tracking, that's not just annoying, it's expensive. Let's say that process takes 15 minutes per customer inquiry. If you handle 20 inquiries a day, that's 5 hours of manual work every single day at a reasonable hourly rate. You're spending over $2,000 a month just on data entry for one process. And that's assuming no mistakes happen. But mistakes do happen. Someone transposes a number, an email gets missed, a follow-up falls through the cracks. Now you're dealing with customer service issues, delayed invoices, and time spent fixing errors. Multiply this across all your operations: order processing, invoice generation, customer support tickets, report compilation, calendar management. Small businesses lose between 20 and 40% of their operational capacity to manual tasks that could be automated. That's not a technology problem. It's a business strategy problem. Here's what changes when you automate manual tasks properly. You create systems that watch for specific triggers, then execute the exact steps your team would normally do manually, but instantly and without errors. A customer sends an inquiry email. The system reads it, categorizes the request, checks your inventory or calendar, creates the appropriate record in your CRM, generates a personalized response, and schedules the follow-up, all in seconds. The important part is this isn't about replacing human judgment. It's about eliminating the mechanical steps between decision points. Your team still handles the complex conversations, the relationship building, the strategic thinking, but they're not spending their day copying information, checking statuses, or chasing down routine updates. The technology reads structured and unstructured data, follows decision rules you define, moves information between your existing systems, and handles the repetitive execution work. You keep your current software. You keep your processes. You just remove the manual labor from the middle. Let me show you a real example from a service business handling customer inquiries. Their old process looked like this. Customer sends inquiry email. Someone reads it, determines the service requested, checks the calendar for availability, looks up pricing, creates a quote in their system, emails it to the customer, logs the interaction in their CRM, and sets a reminder to follow up in 3 days. Total time per inquiry: 20 to 30 minutes. They handled 30 inquiries a week. That's 15 hours of manual work. Here's the automated version. Customer sends inquiry email. The system reads the email content, identifies the requested service using the same criteria the team would use, checks calendar availability automatically, pulls the correct pricing, generates a formatted quote, sends it to the customer with personalized details, creates the CRM record, and schedules the follow-up task. Total time under 60 seconds. Human involvement: 0, unless the inquiry requires custom pricing or special consideration. The system handles standard requests completely. Complex requests get flagged for human review, with all the preliminary work already done. Result: the team went from spending 15 hours a week on inquiry processing to spending 2 hours reviewing flagged cases. That's 13 hours back every week, over 50 hours a month. They redirected that time to customer relationship building and service delivery. Revenue per customer increased because the team had time for meaningful conversations instead of administrative work. Here's another common scenario. A business needs to generate invoices, send them to customers, track payment status, send reminders for overdue invoices, and update their accounting system. Standard manual process. Someone generates the invoice at month end or project completion, emails it to the customer, adds a calendar reminder to check payment status, manually checks if payment arrived, sends follow-up emails for late payments, and updates the accounting records when payment is received. For a business sending 100 invoices a month, this consumes 20 to 30 hours, and payment delays happen frequently because follow-ups are inconsistent. The automated version works like this. When a project is marked complete or a subscription period ends, the system generates the invoice automatically using your existing templates and pricing rules. It sends the invoice to the customer immediately. 7 days before the due date, it sends a friendly reminder. On the due date, it checks your payment processor. If payment hasn't arrived, it sends a professional follow-up. It continues checking and following up on your defined schedule. When payment is received, it automatically updates your accounting system, marks the invoice as paid, and logs the transaction details. Human involvement. Reviewing exceptions, handling disputes, or managing special payment arrangements. A business implementing this saw their average payment time decrease from 42 days to 28 days. That's 2 weeks of improved cash flow on every invoice. They also eliminated 15 hours of monthly administrative work and reduced late payment issues by 60% because follow-ups became consistent and timely. Let me give you the actual numbers these automations produce. Time savings are the most immediate benefit. Businesses typically recover 20 to 40 hours per month per automated workflow. For a small team, that's equivalent to adding a part-time position without the cost. Error reduction is significant. Manual data entry has an error rate of about 1%. That sounds small until you're processing thousands of transactions. Automated systems have error rates near zero for defined processes. Cost reduction comes from multiple sources. Less time on manual tasks, fewer errors to fix, faster processing times, better cash flow from quicker invoicing and payment collection. A typical small business automating 3 to 5 core workflows sees total cost savings between $3,000 and $8,000 monthly. That includes time savings valued at employee rates and error reduction benefits, but the operational improvements often matter more than direct cost savings. Teams can handle higher transaction volumes without adding staff. Customer response times improve. Follow-up becomes consistent. Nothing falls through the cracks. You're not just saving money. You're building operational capacity and reliability that supports business growth. Here's what you need to understand about eliminating manual tasks. Every repetitive process in your business has 2 components: the thinking and decision-making parts, and the mechanical execution parts. Your team should spend their time on the thinking parts, making judgment calls, building relationships, solving complex problems, creating value. The mechanical parts, copying data, checking statuses, sending standard communications, updating records, should run automatically. You don't need to change your business processes or replace your existing software. You build automation that works with what you already have, executing the manual steps your team currently does by hand. Start with your highest volume, most repetitive workflows: customer inquiries, invoice processing, data entry between systems, report generation. Eliminate the manual work. Recover your team's time. Reduce your error rates. Improve your operational consistency. This isn't about future technology or complex AI implementations. This is about applying available tool to remove unnecessary manual labor from your daily operations. The businesses that do this aren't just saving time and money. They're building operational foundations that scale efficiently as they grow. If you found this breakdown helpful, consider subscribing for practical guidance on improving your business operations. I focus on real implementations and actual results, not theory or hype. Thanks for watching.